Greetings, 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 greetings. Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, the whole in three times. You hear me? I hope everybody radiating, emanating, vibrating, being the highest demonstration. Demonstration. And the best version of yourself. You hear me? Feeling good for no reason at all while you're doing it. You heard? Feeling good for no reason at all while you're doing it. Before I get into, in honor of those before me, I couldn't be here without my parents and ancestors. And in honor of those here with me, it ain't no me without y'all. You hear me? So salute to the Cosmic Consciousness family and soul tribe. New subscribers, welcome to the family. Peekaboos and passerbys, you hear me? I appreciate those of you who truly and genuinely rock with me and support the movement. You hear me? In any way, shape, or form. You know, like, comments, subscriptions, donations, purchases, all that and above. You hear me? I appreciate that. Where am I going at? I live by the creed. To speak to a heart, you got to speak from the heart. Otherwise, it's your head talk. And I share that because it's very important that we know the difference. It's very important that we know the difference. And with that being said, let's get into it. You hear me? And before I get into it, I want to share something else with y'all, you know. I don't know if people just used to being lied to because they lie to themselves in their life, or people just not used to being told the truth by the people in their life. You hear me? But I don't apply to none of that. You hear me? I'm in a different state. You know, I'm experiencing different things. I'm experiencing different people. But I'm realizing more and more, and it's not a surprise, you know, it's just a deeper realization that regardless of where I go, people ain't experienced nothing like me. Which go back to, I don't know if people just used to being lied to because they lied to themselves, or just not used to being told the truth by the people in their life. But as I said before, I'm not neither one of those, you hear me? And I say that because it'd be easy for me to see people who ain't used to someone like me and my truth and the way that I speak it. And the reason that I share that is because I had someone ask me yesterday, do I go to church? And my response was, I don't even think I gave one. But then I was turned around and asked, or I was turned around and told, well, God told me to invite you to church. So I said, well, I'm very much connected to God myself in the way that I know it. I say, and I wasn't told or shown that you was coming, you know. So so I don't know where that's coming, where you coming from with that. So then I was asked, why don't I go to church? Because I guess my non-response to the previous question gave them the assumption that I don't go to church, which I don't, but I'm in church every day. For those who got an ear to hear, you will get it, you know. But I was asked why I don't go to church, and I responded, ever since I've been on this realm called Earth, when this day come around, I have watched people put on a Sunday best, you know, go to church, then leave and return to their weekly mess. And I find something wrong with that. Just like me, you know, just like many. It's something wrong with that. No change at all. You know, a lot of us don't see it in our household. A lot of us don't see it with our grandparents. A lot of us don't seen it wherever we don't seen it at. You know, no change at all. You know, wherever they may apply it. But I added on to saying those was the same people that Jesus made uncomfortable in the way that he confronted them, because there was something wrong with that. You know, the Pharisees and the Sadducees of biblical times is the church is the same church people of the day. I say something is wrong with that. I say, so why should I be any different? If those are people that Jesus made uncomfortable in his time, those are people that he turned the table on in his time, you know, regardless of if it's real or not. You see, you could still learn from it. You know, why should I be any different? You know, especially when I actually understand the teachings. I actually understand the principles. I actually understand the concepts. I actually understand the precepts. You know, and if these preachers actually taught what was wrote of Jesus, it wouldn't be no need for Sunday service, praying for forgiveness. you hear me? You'll be living by it. You know, I could go on and on, but I said that to say this, family. Wherever you are in your walk, whatever it is you participate in and what you participate in, study to show yourself approved, whatever you believe. Because we're in a time where we need to know, not believe. We're in a time that we need to know. And if we know how belief systems are constructed, if we know why belief systems were constructed and the power of belief systems, a lot of us won't believe in none of the things that we have allowed ourselves to be usurped by and controlled by. You hear me? So we're in a time where we need to know for ourselves, because like any belief system that we have, any belief system that has been created or constructed, it had to have a whole bunch of people to go for it. It had to have a whole lot of gophers, otherwise known as believers, to believe in it, you know, for it to be what it is today. You hear me? But since I have free will, I use my mind accordingly. You hear me? I use my mind accordingly. And I want to encourage each one of y'all to do the same thing, respectfully. You hear me? We're going to get off into this message, you know. Some of y'all can tell I know a whole lot more than I let on. But that ain't always worked in my favor, you know. In a whole bunch of ways, because I had to learn how to not share more than people was either ready to receive, willing to receive, or able to receive, you know. And at different points in my life, it has took me through some real painful experiences, you see, you know, in the ways that it did. And in hindsight, I know that it was needed for the healing that I required, you know, to learn how to be human in this world, but not of it. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it, you know. I share that to say I'm aware of the human and the limited belief systems that we have been instilled with or have adopted ancestrally, in most cases by default. You hear me? Because we don't birth ourselves. As I said in the previous video, you know, it took two people for us to get here. So if you one of them type of people that like to holler that you don't need nobody, then you need to get yourself somewhere where you won't need nobody. You hear me? But I was born into a family dynamic that I came through to have this opportunity right here. You hear me? Not only to do something different by what I do through me, but to show them something different through what I do to me. You hear me? If you know, you know. But in most cases, in the family dynamic that I come from, you know, what I'm doing ain't been done before. what I represent ain't been represented before. You hear me? Cause Jesus can't do it for you. and if those who really study, Jesus telling us you're gonna have to do it for yourself. But in what Jesus represented, he was an example in order for you to be able to do it for yourself. Ain't nobody coming out no sky to save us. You hear me? So if you here, blessed be you. Because every encounter with me is a learning experience. You hear me? I'm a conduit of otherworldly knowledge. You hear me? Regardless of the books that I have read, you know, I'm a conduit of otherworldly knowledge. And if you come to me with 10,000 problems, I'm gonna show you 20,000 solutions. You hear me? Cause I'm a solutionist. You know, and I'm an alchemist. You know, and as an energy alchemist, that's what we do. If you're an energy alchemist, you understand everything I'm saying. You hear me? But the reason that I say that, because it's all about getting back to our spiritual and eternal nature as a living soul while we're here on earth. Not praying, you know, that we go somewhere where we might not go at because we didn't do the work while we had the opportunity while here. You hear me? You know, it's all about getting back to our spiritual and eternal nature as a living soul while we here on earth. So, cause right here, where the hell at? You know, how you wanna go to a heaven if you don't establish it in your mind when we've been put on the playing field. You see, to master the hell right here. You know, I say that to say anything I could say, anything that I could do to assist us to see from a higher perspective than we used to, that's what I'm here to do. And as y'all hear me say a lot, everybody ain't gonna get it and everybody ain't supposed to. But if you're doing the work, you should be. You hear me? You know, I see from the eye of the soul in a realm where most people seeing from the eyes of the flesh, you know. And my insights run deep the way they do to help us all remember what we already knew. You hear me? To help us remember what we already knew. And that's the mission. So, if you throw a rock, like I'm throwing this rock through this message, it's supposed to cause a ripple. You hear me? Ain't it? Anybody ever throw the rock in the pond or in the water, anywhere where water at? You throw a rock in the pond, it's supposed to cause a ripple. You know? So, this message represents a rock. You know? And a rock represent a strong foundation. You know? And it's supposed to cause a ripple the way it's meant to. You hear me? With that being said, I want to say this. Fear no evil. Hear no evil. See no evil. Speak no evil. We all heard it before. But if you don't got that, cause if you don't got that shit in you, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You hear me? And you most definitely gonna need to know. Not believe. You're gonna need to know when to speak to it. You hear me? You're gonna need to know when to speak to it. Because what's for everybody else ain't gonna be for you. You see? What may be good to other people, good for other people, may be an evil in your life. Including here, I don't make me no different. You see, I'm not an exception to the rule, but you're gonna have to figure it out for yourself. You see? How else you gonna get out this hell we came to figure it out? You see? So establish heaven in your mind and you're gonna be alright. Cause it is a mind, it is a mind state, and when that mind state becomes the mind space, you know, that you conduct your life to, if you planning your steps accordingly, then it become a mind share, you know, and you can share this with other people. You hear me? With that, I'm gonna be out, but before I go, feel good for no reason at all. You hear me? Keep doing the work, you know, keep commanding change over your life. You hear me? Keep mind bending. See, because it's not, if we remember the Matrix, it's not the spoon that bends. It's gonna be your mind that bends it. You heard? Once again, thanks for the likes, shares, comments, new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Peekaboos and passerbys. You hear me? Y'all make it all count too, cause we gotta learn from somebody as we learn from ourselves, and as we learn through ourselves, and as we learn within ourselves. You hear me? Remember, this real life. We're not here to role play. You heard? So make your time count. Make your time count. Don't forget to put your flames in the comment section and your number ones in the comment section and representation of yourself. And until we do it again, you know, I'm known as Sawu, but be you how you be you. You hear me? Peace, family.